Yesterday we were discussing how all these things merge into the vital force. Up to there we have reached. Tada ahujnyadeyo na chalati iti mrito neti va. At that time, the relatives were aside him. What do they say? He does not move. Or doubtingly they say, Mritona itiva. Seems that he is dead. We can't say also, he is dead. They can't confirm. Say, naitiva. Doubtingly they say, Vichikitsanto. Vichikitsanto means doubt. Doubtingly they say that maybe he is dead. Deham alabhamana ushnam. Alabhamana ushnam. How they are doubting? Because they are not able to find heat or warmth in the body. When they touch the body, they touch the head and see, this heat means still is alive. Upalabhamana dehe ushna jivatiti. And if actually they feel the warmth in the body, then they say the body is alive. Yada tadapi austilingam iti yada tadapi austilingam. That also they say only by the indicated by the warmth. Tejo pasanhriyate. But when that gets withdrawn in the last, then what happens? The body starts to become cold. Tada tat teja parasyam devatayam prashanti. Then at that time, that fire merges into the supreme deity. Tad evam kramena. So in this way, in this order, when the mind becomes kramena upasanhrite swamulam prapte cha manasi. This mind which is the cause of the individual soul, is it not? Having entered into the mind, being in the mind, it is called as individual soul. And now that individual soul, what has happened to it? Kramena upasanhrite. Gradually, step by step, it has merged into, it has been withdrawn into the Mula Karanam, Swamule, into its original cause. Prapte, having reached, attained that. Tatstho jivopi, where the mind has withdrawn and merged, therefore tatstho jivopi, and that individual soul which was abiding in it, it also reaches its source. Drishtantam sushupta kalavat, just as we experience in the time of deep sleep. Nimitta upasamharat upasanhriyamana san. Nimitta upasamharat, owing to the withdrawal of its cause. Nimitta upasamharat, owing to the withdrawal of its cause. It also begins to be withdrawn. The individual soul also begins to be withdrawn. The cause is what mean for the individual soul? The mind. Because the mind has withdrawn, therefore the individual soul is also withdrawn. Just like you withdraw the mirror in front of you, there will be the reflection. The reflection is also withdrawn. The nimitta for reflection was the mirror. Similarly, the nimitta for the individual soul is the mind. Therefore, it says nimittupasanghara, because of the nimitta, the cause for this individual soul is withdrawn. Thus, the individual soul is also withdrawn. Upasangriyamana, son. At that time, if, now the question arises, at this time, if the person mind, when it's withdrawing, if it is concentrating or thinking about the Brahman, it becomes Brahman only. There is Satyavisandhi Purvakam Chet. See? Satyavisandhi Purvakam Chet Upasanhriyate Sadeva Sampadyate. It's very clear. If the individual soul is withdrawn, aiming at reaching the truth, Satya Abhisandhi. Abhisandhi, you are aiming to reach it. Is your concentrating or your goal to attain. So that concentration at that moment, If it is Sat, then it verily merges into existence only. Sad eva sampadate. Na punardehantaraya. And it does not move to attain another new body. Sushuptadi uttishtati. That means it will not move to another body in the sense, just like a person moves from getting out of sleep into the waking state. In that way, this fellow will not go from one body to another body, from one state to another state, from the sleep state to waking state. The way you go, in that way, this fellow will not go from one body to another body. यथा लोके सभये देशे वर्तमान कथंचिदिव अभयम देशम प्राप्त तद्वत्. It is just like a good example. This is like a person. In this world, what we see is a person who is living in a fearful place. Sabhaye. Sabhaye means bhayayukte. Bhayena sahayati sabhayam. Sabhaye, a fearful place. Deshe, vartaman, a person living in a fearful place. Katanchid, somehow, abhayam desham prapta. He reached to a place which is totally fearless. Eva, simritadvat. Katanchit, eva abhayam. If there's eva there also, then tadvat also is telling. As if a person is attaining to a fearless place. Similarly, it is here also. A person attains, when the individual soul attains the abhayam itself. Itarastu, but the other people, in usual what happens at the time of death? At the time when you are departing, what is your mind thinking? Not about Brahman. You will think some laddu, peda or something like that. Or viewers of vasanas, you will be seeing some dog or monkey. Depend upon your karma, whatever is karma, depending on that the thing will be seen, and you'll be liking that thing only. You'll feel, oh, so beautiful, so nice it is, and your mind will get engrossed into it automatically, and you're transferred into it. This is what happens. That's called Jaluka Nyaya. Until the next support you won't get, what does Jaluka does? It will be holding back in this body. Once you find the next body, you jump into it and leave the old one.
But Swami, usually, scientists they see their elders who have passed away.
Not necessarily. These people, depending on the Christian, the scientists of the West usually, and that time when they had made this theory, were totally depending on the Bible, the church.
No, Swami, they proved, they did so many thousands of cases just before death.
Now, how can they prove that? There is no machine can read the mind. What they are seeing by mind.
The near-death experience.
Near-death experience.
Then near-death experience in the sense what?
Like somebody has a heart attack and they're revived. They're done. They give CPR and then bring them back. So this person is practically dead. For about 5 minutes he's dead, and they pump the heart and bring the person back. So when they bring them back, that 5 minutes, that interface where they were clinically dead and they were brought back to life. During that juncture, some people remember, not everybody remembers.
But I don't, because that juncture, according to our Shastras, is not the time of death at all. It just has gone to some unconscious state, to a coma for 5 minutes. Because according to the Shastras, you cannot revive at all a person who is dead. That is the point of death here spoken of.
But heart is not working and nothing.
Clinically, it becomes go in coma state. Even ourselves, we say it's a murcha.
Coma means, Swamiji, you can see the pulse and the heart will be pumping and everything.
Even
response is that.
No, when we go, a person with a deep coma is called, there is no heart beating, nothing also. People are in the Shastras also, it is that after 1 week a person comes back.
Yeah, that is coma.
One of the coma is when the brain is not functioning. Heart will be beating and the lungs will be functioning. Or sometimes one of them will have to be supported.
Yeah, that's true. But in a deep coma state, it's not even like that also. When this will not be working. And you can revive also that person. What in the present days, what you call the ventilator system and all, if you remove the ventilator system, if a person is alive, then what does it mean?
He'll wake up.
He's waking up. Even why had been put into ventilators, the heart was not working. So there is such deep coma state which is clinically also accepted. The brain is not working, the heart is not working, the lungs are not working. You are putting the machines and making it work. Certain times they are revived. And at that time, what they are seeing, that you can ask them. But that time is not the time of death, according to the Shastras.
Death is when the jiva departs.
Departs. At that time, these people are saying that whatever you see, that you will become. At that time only all the karma will come up, not in the coma or deep coma or any other state. Before, you might be thinking about father or somebody, that's a different thing in other states. Just like in dream also, we see many things. Later he'll tell, we will see that dead also, dead son, we are speaking with the dead son also in the dream. That is not the person, the son has become alive. So in other states, there is possibility of the death or the non-death who will be taking birth in future also, has taken already birth and speaking with him, and later you see that has become truth. That is why Bhashyakara in Brahma Sutra says, even dream is a suchaka. The sutra itself on this, Brahma Sutra, and that Bhashyakara discussed very well about this Ardhamurcha, Swapna and all these things. But we cannot believe because of certain dreams become true. That doesn't all dreams are true. And true in that also it is relative truth only. That's what is said over there. Therefore, at the time of death, in the sense, there's no question of revival. Once again, he goes means gone. At that state only, the Shastras say, all our vasanas come up, the karma come up, and for the next body, the prarabdha karma takes a shape, and accordingly, the shape of the body, the next body, you can see that.
So what is this preta sharira, all this that we
Yes, even that is also, that bhuta preta also is one yoni only. You will see that at the time of death of this body and get into that yoni. It is an intermediate yoni until you don't get the proper gross body.
So then you're not directly going into another body, you're going into some intermediate state and then going into
that intermediate state is also a body only, not a state. It is also a body, but body without a gross material. It is a subtle body only. That's why we call these are all Vayavya bodies.
Devas also like that.
Devas also, but they can have their own gross body whenever they want. But Bhuta Preta cannot have a gross body whenever they wish. By Sankalpa. That's the difference. The Devatas, by Sankalpa, they can have any body. Any type of gross body. But the Bhuta Pretas, no. If they want to drink water also, they have to come on somebody. Then only they can drink water. Once it has happened in Bangalore South Block West, a person went on drinking water. And that not a person, just a small boy, about 12 years old boy. He drank a complete one big drum of water. Continuously going on. Aur chahiye. People should go and see what's happening from all around. The rumor went on so fast and people entered and see. And actually our seeing is going on drinking. Who drank it? After he was tired and he lied down. After about half an hour he got back. When he woke up, he says, I am hungry and I am thirsty. And one glass of water, he was satisfied. Where all that water went, that bhuta yoni took up. So that is that. The dependence in these intermediate bodies, which are called as Vayavya only mostly, only formed due to air only, such bodies are also bhuta priti. So yatha loke sabe desh ityatya itarastu anatmagya. But the other who has not realized the self, Mulat Sushuptad Iva Utthaya, he actually rises up from that very source and Mritva, having dead from one body, Punar Deha Jalam Avishati, again re-enters into a mesh of body after this death, just like a person Suptat Iva Utthaya, just like a person having moved, arising from deep sleep into the waking state. Sa yeshwani maitadatmidikam sarvam tat satyam sa atma tattamasi shveta geta iti भूय एव मा भगवान विज्ञापयत्विति तथा सौम्येति होवाच स एषोणिमात्मविदं सर्वं तत्सत्यम स आत्मा तत्त्वमसि श्वेतकेतो इति भूय एव मा भगवान विज्ञापयत्विति तथा सौम्येति होवाच स य एषोणिमा that which is thus is this subtle essence anima aitadatmyam idam sarvam all these idam sarvam all these the whole universe have etadeva atma this existence only as their self tat satyam that does that existence which is possessed as self by all is only the truth. Tattvamasi, thou art sa atma, that is the self. Tattvamasi, thou art that. Shvetaketo iti. O Shvetaketo iti. After hearing such a statement from the father, the son says, Bhuya ma Bhagavan Vidyapato. May even Sir explain to me more about this once again. Tathaswamiti vacha, let it be so, the father he said. Because there's a lot of doubts in his mind still after hearing this. He's not satisfied that I am that. Because everybody daily sleep, but nobody says that I have become identified, I had become identified with the existence. Why? That's not clear. Therefore, what is Sanmula Sat Pratishtha? Is it not established? Therefore, how can I be that Sat? That's the question. If Sanmula Sat Pratishtha, everything is depending on Swapiti only you have started. Unless and you don't prove that Swapiti, these things cannot be proved at all. I cannot be Tattvamasi. So the question is, each and every person goes to sleep, but they don't know I have been identified with my own existence, the self. And next time also he says, okay, I accept even that is there, by next example of the honey and all. But later is the next question is, after rising at least we should be knowing, even that we don't know. When we are in deep sleep state, we don't know we are identified. When we rise, we don't know that we have come from that existence only again into this. Both we don't know. So we have to go in that way. Every time the reason is there, 9 times it will be. Sayesha, for that Bhashakara says, Yasmat mulad uthaya deham avishati jiva sayah sadakhya esha ukta. From which source, Yasmat mulad, uthaya having sprung up like an ankura, like the shunga, like a sprout, deham avishati, the individual soul enters the body. Deham avishati jiva. Sa, that mula, that source, yah, which was turned by the word sat, sadakya, ukta, has been very well explained up to now. Sa esha is this. What is this? Anima is the subtlest thing in you. Anima in the sense, there's bhava pratyaya. Imanich is in bhava pratyaya. That means the essence, the subtle essence in you, anubhava of not only one person, but jagataha moolam, the source of the whole world. Now he wants to explain the word aitadatmyam. First we have to make samasa, tadetadatma. Etadatma. How does this become etadatma? He says, etat means sat. Etat means sat. By the word etat, you have to take sat. Atma yasya. Kasya sarvasya. Tat etadatma iti. This is the compound. That means etat, this is what? Sat, the existence. Atma means as self is called. As self of what? As self of all the things. Yasya sarvasya. Tat, that thing is called as etadatma. Tasya bhavaha aitadatmyam. That means the state, bhava is a state, the state of having that existence as the self in all by all is called as Aitadatmyam, the state in which all these things feel or accept that existence is a self is called as Aitadatmyam. Yetena sadhakyena atmana atvat sarvamidam jagadityartha. That means to say, this whole universe, idam jagat, has become possessed of. Atvat means become possessed of self through this self, which is called as existence. Sadakyena. Nanyostyasya atma sansari. That means to say, it has no other self. This world has no other self which is subject to transmigration, which you call as individual soul or jivatma. Actually, there is nothing called as jivatma at all. There is nothing called jiva. It is just an illusion that there is something called as jiva and it's going to take birth and death and all this everything. It's foolishness. There is nothing like that. Nanyosti asya atma, of this world, of anything in this world, does not possess other than this existence as self, which is subject to transmigration. How do you know that? The supportive texts are there in Pradharanyaka. Nanyadatosti drashtri, nanyadatosti shrotri. Other than this, ato means other than this, anyat, something else, nasti drashti. There is nothing called as the seer. There is no other seer other than this Atma, this self, this existence, this Brahman. There is nothing other called as the hearer other than this, the Atman, the Brahman. This Atma is itself, due to the different adjuncts, is called as the seer, the drishta, the shrota, the manta, the vijnata, and etc. 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 It is due to the adjuncts, the name being given to Brahman itself. Ityadi Shrutyantara. According to these other Upanishad texts, this is very clear. Yena chatmana atvat sarvam vidam jagat. By which self all this world becomes possessed of self. Yena atmana idam sarvam jagat atvat bhavati. Tadeva sadakyam karanam. That is itself called by the name, the word existence, Sat. And that is the supreme reality, Satyam, Paramartha Sat. That is the truth. Tat Satyam. Tadeva Sadakyam Karanam Satyam. Tat Satyam Sa Atma is the mantra. Tat means Tadeva Sadakyam, that which is being mentioned by the word Sat and which is the cause of the whole world is the truth. Truth in the sense, Paramartha Sat, the supreme reality. Ataha, therefore, Sa eva Atma, therefore that is the self. Jagatha Pratyak Surupam, it is the inmost essence of this whole world. That means to say, Pratyak, the inmost essence in the sense, Satatvam, Yathatmyam. Its quantenance, its very reality is this existence only. Of what? Of this world. Of this world. Atma Shabdasya Nirupapadasya Pratyagatmani Gavadi Shabda Nirudhatva. And by the word Atma, we have to take the individual soul. Sa Atma. That existence itself is accepted to be as individual soul, as to be possessed by this world as an individual soul. Why? Because the word Atma means Pratyagatma. Bhashakara says Atma Shabdasya, because the word self, when it is Nirupapadasya, without a preceding word or a prefix, it is understood to be conventionally meaning what? Pratyagatmani. Conventionally, it denotes the inmost self of each and everything. Just like Gavadi Shabdavat Nirudhatva, just like the conventional words, cow, etc. Ataha, thus, Tat, Sat, Tvam, Asi. Therefore, that existence you are. Bhavasi. Bhavasi means you are so. हे श्वेतकेतो इत्येव प्रत्यायितः, having been taught so, putra aha, the son said, bhuyo ma bhagavan vidyapayatu, may you again explain to me. Why? Have you not understood still? Tatvamasi, you have told you are that. The what that? He said, what is saying? Yad bhuvaduktam tat sandhibdam. He says, what have been said by you is doubtful to me. Achha. Because that's a matter of doubt. Why it's a matter of doubt? He's explaining even that too. Mama sandigdam mama. That is doubtful to me. Why? If you ask, he says, ahani sarva priya sushupta satsampadhyanta. You have to write. Here it's not wrong. Ityetad satsampadhyanta ityetad, not here. Every day, day by day, every day, ahani, sarva prajaha, all creatures, sushupte, in the deep sleep state, sat sampadhyanta, all merge into existence. And not only that, ityetat, yena tat sampadhyati na vidhu, and yet they do not know. They were identified or merged into the existence. Sat sampanna vayamiti na viduhu. Yena, why so, why is it so? Or due to which cause? Yena means due to which cause that the creatures don't know that we had been merged or identified with the existence in the deep state. Atha drishtantena mam pratyayata. Therefore, please make me understand with the help of an illustration. Eva Mukta, being told so, the father said, Ho vacha pita. What? Tathastu someti. Oh, good looking one, let it be so. Here, tathastu, there is no sakar. Tathatu it has become. Tatha astu. Sakar is not there. Huh? Now it is the example, and it tries to make him realize why we don't know that we were get the deep sleep state, become one with the Brahman. Main reason is actually we don't want to become one with Brahman. That is why if you ask, what do you want to do now? In the night at 10 o'clock. What do you say? I want to sleep. Is what you say. You don't say, I am going to become one with Brahman. Why? Your sankalpa itself is wrong. Then how you can experience? Your sankalpa is, I want to sleep. Therefore you are going to sleep. Up to this day nobody has thought of this, and nobody has trying to change their sankalpa. All these preparations that I have done about the Rajai and everything is to experience myself. I am going to merge into existence. I am going to get identified. I want to get identified of myself with the existence. For that, these preparations I have done, and now I am going to it. Come on. Thinking so, daily we practice this, in deep sleep will become Brahman naturally. Even in Swapna, even in Sushupti, depends upon all our sankalpa. That's our in Yoga Nidra, you might have heard, very clearly our Guruji says, the only sankalpa in the mind all the time that you have to, I want to experience that Atman which has created this whole world, which is sustaining this world, in which this world is going to dissolve. That should be sankalpa. At the time of sleep, daily we have to practice this in mind. And then only mind will think of experiencing it, even in Swapna, even in sleep. But we don't do that. Therefore the mind thinks something else, it sees something else, it enjoys something else, and goes into ignorance and comes back from there. Because we have to give this called the auto-suggestion theory. This is the auto-suggestion theory to the mind. So you have to suggest the mind. you experience this in that state too. And once the mind, and it's very easy because in Jagrat you can't make the mind to see the Brahman. Because in Jagrat you are entangled with all the Vyavahar, all the affairs. You are extrovert. And the mind is introvert in Swapna, dream and sleep only. It's very easy to make the mind to experience Brahman in the dream and also in the sleep. And once it experiences there and enjoys that, automatically in the Jagratam also, it will enjoy it. It will be able to see that Brahman itself everywhere. This auto-vision is very necessary. Daily while sleeping, just 3 times chant mentally that I want to experience, and I am merging into Brahman by this action of which is called as sleep, which is called as sleep due to ignorance. In that sleep, I want to experience my own self merging into my own Brahman. This daily we have to see. This is what is saying now. Then only the all Jagrat what we have done. These Indriyas are moving here and there and everywhere in different directions. Just like a bee moves in different directions, collects the different juices. Some is sweet, some is sour, some is some of other taste. Takes all of them together, puts it into wholesome thing, and the wholesome is always sweet only. Even though it is brought different taste juices. So even though in the whole Jagrata we are having different tastes through different organs, but in that deep sleep state we can have only pure sweetness. For that the sankalpa is the more main thing. That sankalpa is not there at all. Up to this day, all the time, whoever asks and whatever we think on our own self, if nobody asks also, what do you think about yourself? I want to sleep. I am going to sleep. And I'll get up at this time. These 2 words, sleeping and getting up, should be removed out from our mental dictionary. Don't keep this at all. Then you'll be aware all the time. Aware of what? Of one's own self, the existence. That's why it says here, I give the example, Atha somya madhukrito nistishthandi nanatyanam vrikshang rasan samaharam ekatam rasam gamayanti te yatha tatra na vivekam labhante amushyaham vriksha sarasosmi amushyam vriksha sarasosmiti एवमेव खलु स्वमिमाः सर्वाः प्रजाः सति संपद्य न विदोः सन्धि संपद्यामः इति. Both the mantras go together usually. Yatha Somya, O good looking one, as the Madhukrita, the makers of the honey, that is the bees, Nistishtanti, by collecting the essences Nanatyana Vrikshana Rasan, by collecting the essences of trees in different directions, they make the honey. Nistishtanti is making. Making what? What do they make? They make honey. How do they make it? Samavaharam means collecting. Samavaharam is collecting. From where? Nanatyana Vrikshana. That are in different directions, different trees with different tastes, the juices. What do? Ekatam rasam gamayanti. They take all the different types of juices and make it into a homogeneous, whole, single tasted juice. Gamayanti. They convert it, they transform it. They turn all the different tastes into one single taste. That's the fantasy. The great bee. The bees are not ordinary things. It gives us the example of the Karma Yoga. They are the greatest Karma Yogis in this world. Ants and bees, the greatest Karma Yogis in this world. Never find such a Karma Yogi. Day and night they are working. Restless. Just like the sun and moon. And the greatest is they prepare and not for themselves. Whatever they prepare is not for themselves, it's for somebody.
Trees also, Swami. And they give fruits, vegetables, and flowers.
Yeah. But their visible action is not seen. The visible action is in the bees and ants, the 24 hours, how much they are working. And which all symphony among them. They are synchronizing with each other, with good relation between among themselves. The group, they know who are the Sainikas and who are what, and all getting their work together. They fight also with other groups. You can see them very clearly. Everything. Who is going to dry up? Oh, the bees were doing like that. You can hear the sound. to dry up the juice. The water of the juice being dried out. And group by group they come. One group comes, does it's fixed also time. That much hour they do and they go away. The other group comes and just really very great. Who has to bring, who has to what, everything is division of labor. We can learn from them. Many things are to learn, and this is the greatest thing that we are learning them. All the different directions, the Jagrata we go, and in Swapna and Shruti we have become oneness. Rasam gamayanti. Te yatha, but now, and as they do not have such distinctive ideas also, all the different juices, they don't have distinction anymore, that I am the sweet juice in this honey, I am the sour juice in this honey, I am the bitter juice in this honey. The distinctive ideas of each and every juice, each and every does not have in themselves. Te yata yat tatra na vivekam labante. And as they do not have such distinctive ideas, vivekam is distinctive ideas, na labante, where when they are in the form of honey, tatra. What is the form of idea? Amushyam vrikshasya raso asmi, amushyam vrikshasya raso asmi. I am the juice of such and such a tree, and I am the juice of such and such a tree. There is no such distinctive idea at all. Yomeva khalu. Similarly, eva means similarly, eva, verily, khalu, indeed. You see the words used here now. Evam, eva, khalu. So much the father, the teacher is emphasizing to the son. Similarly, verily, indeed is this, oh good looking one, ima sarva prajaha, all these creatures, sati sampadye, after merging into existence, do not know na vidoho, sati sampadhyamahiti, we have merged into the existence, they don't know at all. They don't have the distinction at all that I am the son of so and so, I am the grandson of so and so, etc. etc. That distinctive ideas disappear in the time of dispute.